Hello and welcome to this brief tutorial on how to use the National Weather Service Digital Viewer. My name is Jeff Orock and I'm the meteorologist in charge of the National Weather Service office in Wakefield, Virginia. You can access the digital viewer by going to digital.weather.gov. Once again, the URL for this interface is just digital.weather.gov. The digital viewer takes forecast information from all the National Weather Service offices across the country and tiles it together into one mapping interface. This interface allows you to access forecasts, watches, warnings, and other information from across the country. The National Weather Service office in Wakefield serves primarily Central Virginia, Maryland, and Northeast North Carolina. So I'll take a moment and zoom the map in to our forecast area. Once you have the map zoomed in to the exact area that you're interested in, and this is going to be a zoom that you're going to want to use quite frequently, you can scroll down beneath the map and you'll see several different URLs. One of the links will actually create a bookmark of the current zoom. So by clicking on Create a Bookmark URL, the screen will temporarily blink and then it will update the URL in your browser. At this point you can bookmark the URL, and the next time you visit that bookmark, it'll bring you to this exact zoom. You'll see some other links beneath the map, including definitions of the products, some frequently asked questions, surveys and comments which can be provided, as well as access to the National Digital Forecast database itself. There's also a mobile link which can be used for mobile devices. So going back up the page, by going to the maximum temperature block here, you can do the down arrow and you can see all the forecast information that can be displayed in the digital viewer. This includes forecasts of temperatures, chances of precipitation, various hazards which include watches and warnings, the relative humidity, the wind speed and direction in knots as well as wind gusts, precipitation that is forecast to occur including snow and ice, as well as the total amount of precipitation expected across the region. Marine forecasts of wave heights are provided, along with several fire weather parameters for fire weather partners. There are a number of severe weather options, including the convective outlooks or severe weather outlooks provided by the Storm Prediction Center in Norman, Oklahoma, and you can also access the probability of different types of severe weather. For tropical systems, you can see the forecast of various wind speeds as a tropical system is approaching the coast. These are provided by the National Hurricane Center, along with the various threats that may be posed by a tropical system as it's approaching the United States. Going back to the top, we'll click on the maximum temperature once again, and you'll see the maximum temperature for today, the day that the presentation was being recorded. This was Thursday, June 4th. You can step ahead the forecast in time, so you can see the high forecast for Friday, and then for Saturday, and then eventually Sunday. And this allows you access to the forecast high for every day going out through 7 days. Same thing is true for the minimum temperature. For the chance of precipitation is provided in 12-hour increments. So for example, if I mouse over my slide bar, this is the chance of precipitation ending Saturday at 8 p.m. So that means this forecast of precipitation starts at Saturday morning at 8 a.m. and goes through Saturday evening at 8 p.m. And once again, you can move this timing bar forward in time, allowing you access to that 12-hour chance of precipitation forecast. For precipitation amounts, you can come down here and select precipitation amount in the drop-down window. This allows you access to the forecast rainfall accumulation within 12-hour windows. So once again, this is the forecast precipitation through 8 p.m. on Thursday, starting at 8 a.m. on Thursday. You can continue to move this out ahead in time to see the precipitation accumulation in 12-hour increments. If you're interested in knowing how much rainfall is going to fall over the next 72 hours, you can come down through your drop-down window and then access total new precipitation. This will show you how much precipitation is expected in the entire forecast. For this example, rainfall amounts will range from around half an inch in Richmond to almost 1 inch across Hampton Roads. The same is also true for snowfall, where you can have snowfall forecast in 12-hour increments, and you can also access total snowfall for the next several days. Wind speed, when you click on that option, it provides you the wind speed and also the wind direction on the map. I'll zoom into the lower part of the bay for our marine users. This shows you the wind speed is around 13 knots. The wind barb is an arrow, and the arrow points in the direction that the wind is blowing. So in this example here, the wind is coming out of the north and blowing to the south at around 13 knots. So that's a north wind at 13 knots. The wind forecast is actually provided to you in 1-hour increments, so it's a fairly high resolution. You can step ahead the wind forecast in time by just clicking on the arrow or actually moving the slide bar. You can quickly move the slide bar to the time frame that you're interested in and start at that point, and then use the arrow to step through 1 hour at a time. Again, these wind speeds are in knots, and you use the wind barb to define the wind direction. So once again, this is a wind out of the north at around 9 knots. To access the peak wind gust forecast, once again, go to your drop-down window and go to the wind gust. This will provide you the forecast peak wind gust in knots. Notice the wind direction is no longer displayed, so the wind direction is only displayed on the sustained wind speed map, but wind gust shows the peak wind gust expected. Now the map is also interactive, and I'll go back to the high temperature forecast. There we go. So the map itself is also interactive. You can zoom in on any location. So for this example, I'll zoom into Richmond, Virginia. And if I'm interested in the forecast just for the Richmond Airport, I can come over here and click on the map and click on the Richmond Airport. It will then give me a pop-up window allowing me to access the forecast in several different formats. I can come over here, click on the day-by-day forecast, and this will take me to the point-and-click forecast page for the Richmond Airport. So again, the map here is interactive. I can move the map around. I can see the current conditions at the airport as well as a 7-day forecast. There is other National Weather Service information on this page, including the radar and satellite. These are the same point-and-click forecast pages that are accessible via any weather.gov National Weather Service website. In addition to the day-by-day forecast, you also have access to the hourly weather graph. By clicking on the hourly weather graph, you can access a high-resolution forecast of the different weather elements. This includes temperature, sky cover, chances of precipitation, as well as rain, thunder, and in the winter, snow, ice, and sleet. This forecast also goes out through 7 days. This provides you high-res information for the exact point on which you clicked. So once again, the digital viewer allows you broad access to be able to access weather information across an entire region, but then you can also drill down to the local area and get the forecast for any specific point on the map. So once again, you can access the National Weather Service digital viewer by just going to digital.weather.gov. We hope you enjoy accessing the National Weather Service information, and please feel free to provide comments on this new service.